Call the Senate to order. Mr. Clerk, please read the roll.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barrett. Senator Berry. Senator Blackman. Senator Blackwell. Senator Blunt. Senator Boyd. Senator Brumfield. Senator Bryan. Senator Butler. Senator Carter. Senator Chazanall. Senator Chisholm. Senator DeBar. Senator Delano. Senator England. Senator Fillingane. Senator Frazier. Senator Harkins. Senator Hickman. Senator Hill. Senator Hobson. Senator Horn. Senator Jackson. Senator Johnson. Senator Jordan. Senator Kirby. Senator Ladner. Senator McCon. Senator McClendon. Senator McMahon. Senator Michelle. Senator Norwood. Senator Parker. Senator Parks. Senator Polk. Senator Rhodes. Senator Robinson. Senator Seymour. Senator Simmons of the 12th. Senator Simmons of the 13th. Senator Sparks. Senator Suber. Senator Tate. Senator Thomas. Senator Thompson. Senator Turner Ford. Senator Whaley. Senator Wiggins. Senator Williams. Senator Younger. Mr. President, a quorum is present.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Will the senators and guests in the gallery please rise for the invocation given by Robert Green, who is the senior pastor of Fondren Church in Jackson, Mississippi. Robert's gifts of Senator Harkins. Invocation will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Senator Harkins. Robert.
Let's pray together. Father, we pause in this moment, and Lord, I pray for wisdom. Your word gives us a promise in Proverbs 2 that if we accept your words and store up your commands and listen intently with our hearts, if we search for it as silver and seek it like hidden treasure, that wisdom can come our way. And Lord, we pray that for these men and women leading our state, Lord, with ramifications far and wide, I pray that they would seek your wisdom, that they would call out for it. The first chapter of James gives us a promise that if we ask you wisdom, you'll give it to us. Wisdom, though, is hard-earned. It's in the midst of trials and struggle and turmoil. And so thank you for, Lord, the people who lead us. And Lord, I pray, as your word defines, that greatness is demonstrated as we seek to serve other people, as we put others above ourselves. And I pray that you would continue to strengthen and root and establish our state's leaders to seek you in this and to seek the welfare of other people. Lord, I pray from the great prophet Micah that we would continually learn to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with you, our God. This we pray in Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
See me in copy. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Delbert, for your
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you and Fondren Church in Jackson, Mississippi. Now the reading of the journal. Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the journal.
Senator moves to dispense with the reading of the journal. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Message and petitions, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, there are none.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Committee reports. Senator Blackwell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the committee reports.
Senator moves to dispense with the reading of the committee reports. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next to the reading of the titles of the bills and resolutions, I recognize Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the titles of the bills and resolutions.
Senator moves to dispense with the reading of the titles of bills and resolutions. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Introduction of guests, Senate. Introduction of guests. Senator Blunt, you're recognized for introduction, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like the Senate to help me make welcome this morning in the gallery. I see, particularly in the West Gallery, the Mississippi chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Early Childhood Development Coalition is here. I'd ask them all to wave, and please join me in making them welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do for young children. Senator Wigginson, for introduction.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. In the gallery in front of us, we have with us, if they'll please stand, we have Miss Cynthia Henderson from Cypress Environmental, and I'm going to give her credentials too. She is an alum of Mississippi School for Math and Science and is on the foundation. And Cypress Environmental actually is female-owned and one of the fastest-growing companies in the country. And she also has with her alums of Mississippi School for Math and Science, Stephen Alston, class of 2004, and Stephanie Ivy of class of 1996. So please give them a big hand. Thank you for being here.
Senator Boyd,
Introduction.
please proceed.
In the gallery today with the pediatricians, we have from Oxford, Dr. Tanya Fitz. We welcome her to the Senate today. And also with us, as Senator Blunt mentioned, we have the fellows of the Child Health Development Fellows at UMMC. If they will stand, they are doing some great work across the state, and we're so appreciative of the job they're doing and their advocacy for early developmental issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Hickman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, for an introduction.
Please proceed.
Mr. President, on behalf of myself, Senator Younger, and Senator Williams, there is a group, Dr. Rush, and a group of adult ed educators are in the gallery. If you guys would please stand and let the Senate make you feel welcome this morning.
Thank you, and welcome to your Senate. Senator Butler.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction, please.
Please, sir.
Mr. President and the Senate, I would also like to introduce in this group Ms. Nikita Bonds from Port Gibson, Mississippi, who's the Assistant Director of Adult Education and Grants and Special Program in the North Gallery. Let us welcome her here today.
Senator Robinson,
Introduction, Mr.
please
President.
proceed.
From Laurel in the West Gallery, I would like for you all to help me make welcome Dr. Patricia Tibbs. She's a pediatrician, and she does wonderful work for children in our area, and we appreciate her. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Senator Fillingane,
Thank you, Mr. President, for an introduction.
please proceed.
Thank you so much. In the West Gallery today, we have with us board members of the Mississippi Marriage and Family Therapists Association. We have over 200 marriage and family therapists in the state, and the University of Southern Mississippi is the main producer of these fine men and women. So if y'all will stand, we'd love to make you all welcome, and they're represented by the lovely Serena Flowers as well up in the gallery. Thank you.
Okay. Other announcements. I'm sorry, introductions. Okay. Senator Rhodes, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to request floor privileges for Amber Beck.
Seeing no objection, Ms. Beck, you're granted floor privileges.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amber is a constituent and a friend of mine, but she is also the State Advocate for Adult Education Fellowship with the Coalition of Adult Basic Education. Her group is seated, I believe, in the North Gallery, maybe some in the South Gallery. If y'all would stand, let us recognize you. Welcome you to the State Senate. So Amber's here today with adult education to recognize Senator Angela Turner Ford. And I would also, before I would like I'd like for Amber to have opportunity to address the Senate, but before that, I would like to call up Resolution number 68 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Resolution number 68, a resolution recognizing Senator Angela Turner Ford upon her receipt of the Coalition on Adult Basic Education 2024 Legislative Champion Award and commend her distinguished leadership and support for adult education in Mississippi. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Mississippi that we do hereby recognize Senator Angela Turner Ford upon her receipt of the Coalition on Adult Basic Education 2024 Legislative Champion Award and commend her distinguished leadership and support for adult education in Mississippi. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Senator Angela Turner Ford, forwarded to the Chief Executive Officer of the Coalition on Adult Basic Education, and made available to the Capitol Press Corps.
Ms. Beck, you're recognized to address the Senate.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is an honor to present the Champion of Adult Education Leadership Award to Senator Angela Turner Ford for her outstanding work in supporting adult learners in Mississippi. Senator Turner Ford has been an instrumental advocate for adult education in our state, tirelessly working to ensure that every adult has the opportunity to improve their skills, advance their careers, and contribute to their communities. Her leadership has been crucial in addressing the education and career needs of adult learners, ensuring that they have the resources and support that they need to succeed. Through her efforts, thousands of Mississippians have gained vital skills such as literacy, digital literacy, work readiness, and the ability to earn their high school equivalency diploma. With approximately 300,000 adults in Mississippi lacking a high school diploma and thousands more needing English language services, Senator Turner Ford's work has been essential in expanding access to and supporting these learners. Senator, we are deeply grateful for your leadership, your vision, and your dedication to adult education. Thank you for being such a powerful advocate for our learners and ensuring that their voices are heard. Please join me in congratulating Senator Turner Ford. Thank you for all of your exceptional service to adult learners in Mississippi.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator, you're recognized to address the Senate. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was about to ask. Thank you all so much for this honor. This is the second time in 12 months I think I've been stunned. I don't have a speech prepared, but as many of you have been champions of education, it's been my honor to join you in that fight. And to the organization that's honoring me, to East Mississippi Community College, to all of those people throughout this state who have had their needs met by the work that we've done here. It is my great honor to serve and to do all that I can to help your efforts. And thank you all for this recognition this morning.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Rose. Congratulations, Senator Turner Ford. Okay, Senator, you ready? Senator Turner Ford is now recognized for her own introduction.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request floor privileges for the West Point High School football team, their coach, and the Superintendent of Education, Dr. Jermaine Taylor.
Privilege is granted. With Sergeant at Arms, please show the team to the chamber floor.
Collect myself. I've heard that there are 90 of them, so they'll have to file in. Oh. 95 today, I'm told. Let's hustle, guys. As they file in, they're joined by Dr. Tamika Shannon, the principal of the West Point High School football team. West Point High School, Coach Brett Morgan, the coach of the team. And I'm not sure if Dr. Taylor has made it in. Superintendent of Schools, Coach Larry, standing to my left. And if there are any senators who would like to join me at the podium from the Golden Triangle area or North Mississippi, you're more than welcome.
Okay, Senator, I think we've got 95 in here.
Thank you, Governor. Recognizing the young people in one's community is always important. And I must say, we're back just to do that. In West Point, winning is a culture. I don't know how it happened, but the coaches seem to have found the recipe for success. The team is now under new leadership of Coach Brett Morgan, and for those of you who do not know, the former coach retired, and thank goodness he's in another state coaching another team, so we don't have to compete with his efforts. But this team has not missed a beat, and I must say that they have accomplished a record that no other school has. They've won 13 state titles, which is more than any other school in MHSAA history. And at this time, Mr. President, I would request that the resolution be called up and the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Resolution Number 35, a resolution commending and congratulating the West Point High School Greenway football team and head coach Brett Morgan for winning their 13th state record championship High School Activities Association Class 5A state championship. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Mississippi that we do hereby commend and congratulate the West Point High School Greenway football team and head coach Brett Morgan for for winning the Mississippi High School Activities Association Class 5A State Championship and extend to the team, coaches, administration, parents, and sponsors our best wishes for future success. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Coach Brett Morgan for the team, forwarded to West Point Principal Tamika Shannon and the West Point Municipal School Board of Trustees, and be made available to the Capitol Press Corps.
Thank you. They win, they work hard, and they do it consistently. At this time, Mr. President, I request that Coach Brett Morgan be authorized to address the Mississippi State Senate.
Coach Morgan, you're recognized to address the Senate.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Hoseman. Thank you, Senator Turner Ford, for having us. Thank you, the Mississippi Senate. It's just a huge honor for us to be able to be here today. You know, this group of men you're looking at is a special group of men, a very high character group. There's 104, 105 on the team. A few couldn't make it today. We got 95 players here, 10 through 12, and then next year's team is looking to be just as big numbers wise. But we're just so honored to be here, thankful for the opportunity, and we are right back at work, hoping that we'll have the opportunity to come back next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
And Mr. President, I'd like to request that Dr. Shannon be allowed to address the State Senate as well.
Dr. Shannon, you're recognized to address the State Senate.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for this opportunity to be recognized. West Point High School, congratulations to our team, our coaching staff, the administration. We are blessed to be under the leadership of Coach Morgan as his first year's head coach. So we just want to continue the hard work, the dedication, and the consistency of success in our football program. Again, thank you for this opportunity. We are so excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Congratulations, men. Quite an accomplishment. One that'll stay forever. I think we got an exit left here. Don't run over my guard out there. Senator England, for what purpose?
I have an introduction out of order, Mr. President.
Please proceed, Senator England.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Senator Wiggins and myself, I'd like to ask Ms. Kim Murphy if she'll stand. She is a special education teacher at Goche High School, and she also serves as a Teach Plus Senior Policy Fellow, and she has 20 of her fellows here today, and want to ask if we can all make her feel very welcome here today. Thank you.
Okay. Future leaders here. Senator Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the West Gallery, we have a cousin of mine, Miss Yolanda Campbell. She's here with Mississippi Teach Plus. Would you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, let's please give her a warm welcome. Thank you.
Senator Tate, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request floor privileges for the Mississippi Songwriters Alliance, please.
Seeing no objection is granted. Sergeant at Arms, please escort them to the chamber floor.
Mr. President, I'd like for Senate Resolution number 71 for the title to be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Resolution number 71, a a resolution recognizing the outstanding cultural accomplishments of the Mississippi Songwriters Alliance over the last 15 years and welcoming representatives of this association to the floor of the Senate. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Mississippi that we do hereby recognize the outstanding cultural accomplishments of the Mississippi Songwriters Alliance over the last 15 years in welcoming representatives of this association to the floor of the Senate. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to the Mississippi Songwriters Alliance, forwarded to the Mississippi Arts Commission, and be made available to the Capitol Press Corps.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, Meridian being my hometown, having the birthplace and the resting place of the father of country music, Jimmy Rogers, it's my honor to be able to recognize the Mississippi Songwriters Alliance. This is an organization that's been championing the art of songwriting for over 15 years. Their dedication, they've hosted 15 festivals featuring over 200 songwriters. They've launched the Mississippi Songwriters Hall of Fame, expanded their impact through educational programs in schools and libraries. Their partnerships, including collaborations with veterans, international songwriter exchanges, and legislative support for a state-of-the-art performing arts center, have solidified Mississippi's place in the world of songwriting. Mr. President, I request that the President of MSA, Mr. George Compass, be able to address the Senate.
We appreciate all y'all's support. We have a treat for y'all today. Mr. Tommy Barnes, he's been with us from the beginning. He moved from Tupelo. He's from Tupelo, moved to Nashville. He's written multiple #1 songs that y'all probably all know and heard over your careers. One of the things I've told some of the folks, like a lot of the songwriters here, they have to move to Nashville, and some of these guys got jet plane money. They do make some good money, but they have to leave to do their work because we don't have those facilities here, and we're trying to change that with our efforts where we can keep the Mississippi builds them, but Tennessee gets the tax revenue. So we want y'all to help us build what we're trying to build so we can keep them home where we can participate in that revenue. So this is Mr. Tommy Barnes. He's got a lot of songs written by Tim McGraw, Hank Williams Jr., Little Texas, and about 50 other artists. Been a big friend of ours since day one.
All righty.
And our buddy. Your turn.
Thank you so much for that, George, and I'll say something real briefly, but George approached me about this over in Alabama one year at the Frank Brown asked me if I'd be willing to help do this in Mississippi, and this being my home state, I said I'd love to, so I jumped on board. And as I said earlier, though, I get the easy part. They do all the work all year long, and I run down there and participate 3 or 4 days and get the benefit of it. But I'd like to thank him and his team for all the hard work they do. And I'd also like to thank you guys for the support you've been giving us down there, because Mississippi is the home of a lot of the music that the whole country of America and the world takes for granted. But thank y'all. I'm going to play you a song I wrote, and I'm a huge Jimmy Rogers fan too, if that makes any difference. And I'm not just saying that because I was born in Tupelo, which is also the home of Mr. Elvis Presley. This song's called I've Had a Good Run, and it goes like this. Well, I've held a lot of ladies, I've kissed a lot of babies, I've loved a few good women in my time. I had my share of rambling, my fair share of gambling, been in and out of every state of mind. All in all, I can't complain, had my fortune and my fame, I even hung a gold crown on the wall. I've been lost and I've been found, I've been high and I've been down. Somewhere in between I've seen it all. I've had a good run, I've had a good run. It's been good fun. had a good run. Well, I've been a lot of places, seen a lot of faces. Most I remember, some I don't recall. I've seen sunshine turn to rain, bobos without a train, and emerald turn to auburn in the fall. I've had my share of lovers, had my share of brothers. I've had things that I still can't claim. I guess for all it's worth, my time down on this earth, the pleasure aren't sure worth the pain. Yeah, 'cause I've had a good run. I've had a good run. It's been good fun in the long run. When my time down here is done, my last trip around this old sun. Yeah, I've had a good run. When my time down here is done, one more trip around this old sun. Hey, I've had a good run. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And I have had a good run. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage everybody, want to fellowship with these fellows, we'll be, guys and gals, we will be at the Iron Horse from 11 to 1 today.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations, y'all. Real talent here. We'll move to the calendar appropriations. I'm sorry. Senator Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction.
Please proceed.
Today I have the Doctor of the Day, Miss Anita Henderson from Hattiesburg Clinic. She is a good friend and fellow Hattiesburg resident. And in the South Gallery is her husband, Randy Henderson. Please help make them feel welcome.
Okay, Senator Hobson. Let's get started. Appropriations. Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to ask that we pass and retain items 1 through 6 on the calendar. Go to item 7, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1074, Electronic Government Services Fund and Electronic Government Oversight Committee bring forward sections that create it.
I make the usual motion.
Usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill modifies our current Electronic Government Oversight Committee. Right now, there are members of that committee include ITS Director, Auditor, Treasurer, Secretary of State, DFA, and DPS as members of the committee. This would also include the Executive Director of the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, and include the Director of Archives and History. Those two entities do a lot of electronic transactions and would like to be included on the committee as they help to streamline electronic government operations in our state. That's what it does, adds those two members to the committee. I'll yield for questions.
Questions on the strike all? Seeing none, Senator, ready?
Move adoption of the strike all.
Adoption of the strike all is moved. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senator, ready on the
Now I
bill.
suggest passage by use of the morning roll
Use of
call.
morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Of course, voting no. Present. Seeing none, bill passes. Item 8, Senator. Pass and retain finance. Senator Harkins, you're recognized. We're on item 9, Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip items 9 and 10, have them retain their place on the calendar, and go to item 11 on today's calendar, House Bill 920, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 920 to change the motor vehicle license tag, authorize issuance to supporters of the Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom.
Make the usual motion.
Usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed, Senator Hawkins.
Move we adopt the committee substitute and be recognized to explain it.
It's a committee amendment.
Okay, yeah, I didn't have the substitute. I see it's an amendment. Okay.
Committee amendment, I'm sorry.
You're recognized to address, I'm sorry,
Thank you.
explain the amendment.
Thank you. This is basically just a car tag bill that we could use as an omnibus vehicle. We'll have two alive, so we can make sure everyone gets their request in. And this will be the vehicle we can use. We have another vehicle that's in the House, if it's still alive. So we'll have two options. We did insert a reverse repealer in the bill to keep it alive, so that is the explanation of the bill. If there aren't any questions, I move adoption of the amendment.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
If there are no further questions, I move final passage on the morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, bill passed. Be used to morning roll call. Senator Hawkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 12, House Bill 1196, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1196, Local Governments and Rural Water Systems Improvements Revolving Loan and Grant Program, authorized Pearl River Valley Water Supply District to participate.
Make the usual motion.
Senator makes the usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, this is similar to the Senate version we had. This just allows the Pearl River Valley Water Supply District to participate in the local government rural water improvement revolving loan and grant fund. That's the explanation of the bill. Be happy to yield for any questions.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none.
Move final adoption on morning roll call.
Use of morning roll calls requested. Anyone object to procedure? Vote no. Present. Seeing none, Senator, you're recognized.
I'd like to skip item 13 through 20, have them retain their place on the calendar.
So retaining your place on the calendar, 1320. Senator Kirby, you're recognized. On 21, Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to call up item 21, JR1, as title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Joint Resolution 1, Mississippi House of Representatives. It provides composition of District 16, 22, 36, 39, and 41.
Usual motion, Mr. President.
Usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed, Senator Kirby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, this is the House plan on the reapportionment ordered by the courts. I can go through all of that again if I need to, but as all of you know, the United States District Court for Southern District said that we had to redraw the district. This is their district over there that they approved overwhelmingly. The district that's really being drawn is Representative John Lancaster's, currently represents his district, but they have 5 people that are running. I'll be happy. Representative Lancaster, Thompson, Gibbs, McLean, and Kareem. And it's in the newly redrawn House District 22, which is a majority district. There's a total of 5 districts affected. And as I named those people, and it's districts 22, 16, 36, 39, and 41. Again, it's 22 that's been redrawn. That district has a 51.18 BVAP. All of the, of course, you know, the chairman over there went over them with all those affected. The proposed plan, of course, has met all the performance reviews. It's been approved by the attorneys. They feel like it's a good district. And if there's no questions, Mr. President, I ask for use of morning roll call.
Seeing no question, use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to procedure? You object to the procedure? I'm sorry. Before we get to your objection, we'll call the roll in a second. Senator Blunt, Senator Sparks.
Thank you, Mr. President, for a question.
Please proceed.
I yield.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This this is similar to what we had to do on this end
It is.
with redistricting.
It is.
Now, as I recall, we passed our Senate redistricting bill in 2021, 2022,
Right.
2022, with a vote of 45 to 7. I recall that was the vote in this chamber.
I really can't remember, but
Okay.
that sounds right.
Okay,
Yes.
and then due to a lawsuit, after this body voted 45 to 7, and I'll let whoever wants to look up the vote, look it up, to see who voted yay, then some organizations sued, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and then a 3-judge panel heard this suit, and they designated that we should redraw a few districts in the Senate and then this one district in the House, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we could have appealed that, but this body can't appeal that. That appellate right belongs to people that are not in the Senate, is that correct?
That's correct. Election Commission, yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, this wasn't appealed, and we have a court order from a federal court to do what they said do, and we didn't appeal it, so then this body and the body on the other end of the hall have followed the court order to the best of their ability to draw new districts, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I had all that right, because when we pass something 45 to 7 with bipartisan support, I generally think that's a pretty good bill, but I just wanted to make sure that I understood the sequence of events. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sparks. Senator McClendon, for what purpose, sir?
Question, sir.
You yield for a question, Senator?
I yield.
Senator McClendon is recognized for a question.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for your work and toil and trouble.
Well, I was going to say thank you, but I do a lot of work on this. This is the House plan. Not a lot of work on it.
Were there other plans that were presented for this?
Well, the other plan I worked, were there other plans presented over there? I have no idea. No, I was told there were not any other plans submitted over there.
Okay. So what Senator Sparks was talking about, we had 45 to 7 vote last time, and that map was vetted correctly, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, this time it was a large majority that voted for this, including some Democrats, yeah.
Okay. But the last map that we voted on, 45 to 7, we were told it was vetted by an outside firm other than what our professionals that vetted it, correct?
That's right. Their map was vetted just as ours was by the map experts. That's what I was told.
So did we use the same experts from the last?
I'm sure they did. I don't know that. I haven't been real involved in theirs. I was just told that their map was approved by the attorneys and approved by the map experts.
And the map experts are?
You know them better than I do. I have no idea. It's whoever the attorneys that we hire uses. I do not know their names.
But we're not privy to that information.
Well, through the attorney, I would think. I mean, we hire the attorney, and the attorney law firm then does the maps from there.
So can we say that this is state money that is being paid to have this map vetted? Or is this?
I would think that the state's paying the attorney, and I'm sure the attorney must be paying something.
So then we do have the right, if this is public money being paid to the map getting vetted, then we do have the right to know if it's public funds paying to have this map vetted, we have the right to know who's vetting it.
If that's what the attorneys did, and the attorneys want to give their client, attorney-client privilege information to us, yes, but then I don't know that they have to.
But it's state money.
Well, we're hiring the attorneys.
By state money?
Yes, sir, we're hiring the state, and then how they get it approved and vetted is up to them, not us, not up to us.
I have some real concerns over the same group vetting it last time that said, don't worry about a thing, this is going to be good. That we voted 45 to 7, and I was one of the 45 votes. I'll say right here.
So I thought we had a good map the first time myself. But the judges didn't, so we have to comply with the court That's the number one thing, and I'm sure they were trying to be just as fair as we were over here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator McClendon. Senator Turner Ford, for what purpose, ma'am?
Question.
Were you for a question, Senator?
Yes, sir.
Senator Turner Ford is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And you may have said this, so please pardon me if I'm being redundant. I know with the Senate plan, we had 2 districts that were drawn where there were no incumbents. Do we know if there were any districts drawn in the House where there are no incumbents?
I'm not, well, my understanding is none of these have, are paired, and none of these, I think maybe they all have incumbents.
And as far as you know, did they make efforts to, I guess, tailor their map to the court decision or the court order?
Well, they feel very confident that the courts will approve of what they've done.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Further questions? Questions on the bill? Go back to Senator Blunt. Have an objection to use of the morning roll call? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Barnett, Barrett, Berry, Blackman, Blackwell, Blunt, Boyd, Brumfield, Bryan, Butler, Carter, Chazanall, Chisholm, DeBar, Delano, England, Billingham, Frazier, Harkins, Hickman, Hill, Hobson, Horn, Jackson, Johnson, Jordan, Kirby, Ladner, McCon, McClendon, McMahon, Michelle, Norwood, Parker, Parks, Hoke, Rhodes, Robinson, Seymour, Simmons of the 12th, Simmons of the 13th, Sparks, Suber, Tate, Thomas, Thompson, Turner Ford, Whaley, Wiggins, Williams, Younger, Barrett, Brumfield, Carter, Bryan, Chazanall, Chisholm, Hill, Horn, Ladner, McMahon, Seymour, Simmons of the 12th, Suber, Wiggins, Turner Ford, Wiggins, voting yes or yea. Barnett, Berry, Blackwell, Boyd, Chazanall, Chisholm, DeBar, Delano, England, Fillingham, Harkins, Hobson, Johnson, Kirby, Ladner, McCon, Michelle, Parker, Parks, Pope, Rhodes, Robinson, Seymour, Sparks, Tate, Thompson, Turner, Ford, Whaley, Williams, and Younger. Voting no or nay: Blackman, Blunt, Brumfield, Butler, Frazier, Hickman, Hill, Jackson, McClendon, Norwood, Simmons the 13th, and Thomas.
Senator Wiggins, for what purpose, sir?
Mayor,
Please proceed.
if Senator Simmons was here, he would vote no. I vote aye.
Pair, Simmons, D, and Wiggins. Senator Suber, for what purpose, sir?
To the vote.
Please proceed.
I vote aye.
Suber, aye. Senator Brumfield, for what purpose, sir?
To the vote, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
I vote no, and if my desk mate, Senator Carter, was here, he would vote aye.
Pair, Brumfield, Carter. Carter, aye. Brumfield, no. Senator Jordan, for what purpose, sir?
Mr. President, I didn't hear my name called. I voted no.
Jordan, no. Mr. Clerk, Jordan, no. Anyone else? Anyone else? Senator Hawkins, while we're waiting for the vote, for what purpose, sir?
Introduction.
Please proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, if y'all would please help me introduce a special lady here in the North Gallery. Lieutenant Governor Staffer, Tanner Robinson's mom got wind that Tanner may be acting up, so she came down here to be a little bit of an enforcer. If y'all would please help me make her welcome to the Senate.
He dressed up real good today. He's doing fine, ma'am. Okay, Senator Tate.
Introduction.
Please proceed.
In the North and West galleries, we have with us today the Mississippi State Games Athletes of the Year. If y'all will stand up, the Youth Athlete of the Year is Rowdy Briscoe. Male Athlete of the Year, Mr. Scott Gray. And my good friend and neighbor, Miss J.C. Collins, was the Female Athlete of the Year. If y'all will, please make them feel welcome.
Senator Delano, for what purpose, sir?
Introduction.
Please proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, in the South Gallery, we're joined today by Mary Beth Geiser. She's from Ocean Springs, one of my constituents from Ocean Springs area. She's an honor student there, member of the Gray Pride. The Blue Gray Pride is in Ocean Springs. Dance team as well. She's currently the Miss Heart of South Teen, and she's promoting community service and initiatives, and she's competing in Miss Teen Mississippi in Vicksburg in April. She's also joined by her sister, Katie Lou, and her mother is Kelly, and her father is the fire chief of the great city of Biloxi. So on behalf of Senator England, Senator Thompson, and myself, I'd like to make everyone, or let them be welcomed. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator England.
Yes, Mr. President, to the vote.
Please proceed.
Mr. President, I was voted aye, but I'd like to change and announce a pair. If Senator John Horn were present for this vote, he would vote no, and I vote aye.
England, Horn. Horn, no. England, aye. One moment, please. Bill passes by a vote of 30 ayes, 12 noes. We had 9 pairs. All right, Senator Barr.
Introduction out of order, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. If the Senate help me make welcome in the South Gallery, if they'll stand, we have my Greene County Board of Supervisors. We got Wayne Barrow, Eford Eubanks, Pete Johnson, and their board attorney, Randy Pierce, is up there. If y'all will stand up. Come on now. As well as, we also have a good friend of mine and a good friend and attorney out of Lucedale, Mississippi, Darrell Hurt Jr. If you'll stand up, be recognized. Thank you, Senator.
Thank y'all. Praying for the storms y'all had last evening. Randy, it's good to see you. Okay, back on the calendar, Senate. Concurrence, non-concurrence. Concurrence, non-concurrence. Seeing none, Senate, we go to Parker, General. Bryan, pass and retain. DeBar, pass and retain. Chasnow, Thompson, Barnett, Whaley, Bryan, Fillingane, (102) Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to get item 102 called up and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate House Bill 861, sexual offense, providing immunity for reporting.
I'll make the usual motion.
Senator makes the usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. If you recognize Senator Hill to explain the strike.
Senator Hill, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. The strike-all language in this bill is immunity for reporting a sexual assault is the exact same language that we passed through here as a Senate bill, whereas last session, I believe it was, we gave people immunity for reporting a drug overdose if there was alcohol or drugs present. And this is the same provision in the law, and we're just giving the immunity for someone who reports a sexual assault directly to authorities. There are no questions. I'd ask to adopt a strike-all.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Now, I'd ask for passage on the morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Of course, voting no. Present. Seeing none, bill passes by use of morning roll call. Senator?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip item 103 and have it retain its place on the calendar and go to item 104.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1614, expungement clarified for pardon and human trafficking convictions.
Make the usual motion.
Usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. If you'll recognize Senator Sparks to handle the strike call.
Senator Sparks? You're recognized to explain the strike call, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. President. This is the Senate's language as it relates to the misdemeanor offense of prostitution by someone who is designated a trafficked person, as is defined in the Mississippi Code, that a person who has prostitution crimes could have those crimes expunged if they in fact are a designated trafficked person. It also takes away the expungibility of someone who promotes prostitution, meaning someone who is pimping. So that is an explanation of the strike all. I would yield to any questions.
Questions? Seeing none, you recognize on the strike all.
Move for adoption of the strike all.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senator?
Move for passage on the morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call being requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Voting no. Present. Senator England? Bill passes by use of the morning roll call. We're on 106, Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item number 106 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 289, Election Commissioners, Revised Terms and Election Cycles for those in Districts 2 and 4.
Thank you. Make the usual motion.
Senator makes the usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, this bill just simply changes the terms of elections commissioners that represent Districts 2 and 4 to 1, 3, and 5, and 2 and 4 all serve in staggering terms, but currently they are elected in the same election as the circuit clerks. So they've asked to move that to a different general election so that they are not running at the same time as circuit clerks. Obviously for the purpose of having folks that know what they're doing with elections, not all running at the same time. We did pass this in another bill last year as well. It had something else in it, so the bill didn't become law, so we're back again this year to do this for our elections commissioners. That's an explanation of the bill. I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions on the bill? Questions? Seeing none, Senator.
Mr. President, my motion is for final passage by use of the morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object? This court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passed by use of morning roll call. Senator England.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip item number 107 and ask that it retain its place on the calendar and go to item number 108 on today's.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 293, Congressional Primaries, change time for holding in years without presidential election.
Thank you. I make the usual motion.
Usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask to be recognized to explain the strike all.
You're recognized to explain the strike all, Senator.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we passed this bill earlier this year, our version of this. This changes congressional primaries for our U.S. congressmen to all run during the a March primary. Currently, they only do that during presidential years, and instead of having them run at 2 separate times each time, they've asked that they move their elections to March. And also, we have we found, our colleagues in the House found that the same election is also when members of the levy board are elected, so we're moving them as well in this bill. So that was the only change from the bill that we passed. That's an explanation of the strike all. I'm happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, my motion is to adopt the strike all.
Motion is to adopt the strike all. Senator Jordan, for what purpose?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just for a little clarification, you are changing it from March until when?
Senator Jordan, so currently our U.S. congressmen, our women, will run in March during presidential years because that's when we have our presidential primaries. And then the 2 years after that, when it's not a presidential primary, they have their primaries in June. So this moves those to March permanently. So every time.
So you'd be consistent with the one with the presidential election and with the one without?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Senator Jordan. Senator Turner Ford, for what purpose, ma'am?
Question?
You have for a question, Senator England?
I do, yes.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Was the congressional delegation, was their request through official correspondence, or was it just simply reaching out to a legislator?
They just reached out to me. I may have an email that I can share with you, but I believe it was just them reaching out to me, and I was told that all 4 of our congressional delegation, the full congressional delegation from Mississippi, is in favor of this.
Thank you. That would have been my next question.
Yep. Thank you, Senator Turner Ford. If there are no further questions, Mr. President, my motion is to adopt the strike all.
Motion is to adopt the strike all. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Senator, you ready on the bill?
Yes. My final motion is for adoption by use of the morning roll call.
Use of the morning roll call being requested. Anyone object? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passed by use of the morning roll call. 109, Senator England.
Yes, Mr. President. I ask that we go to that item and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 724, Election Crime, create for the willful failure to transmit a voter's ballot in certain situations.
Thank you, Mr. President. Make the usual motion.
Use your motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed,
Aye.
no. The ayes have it.
Mr. President, I ask to be recognized to explain the strike all.
You're recognized to explain the strike all. Senator England.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, what this strike all does is it just takes the House language out and put our language back in. This makes it a crime for anyone to willfully fail to cast a ballot, if they are a caretaker and they agree to cast a ballot for an individual that qualifies for that service, if that person then willfully fails to not cast that ballot with the intent of their ballot not being casted, this will make that a misdemeanor now. That is what our language does as opposed to the House bill, which I believe kept it a felony, and there was a little bit different language. That's an explanation of the strike all. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senator Norwood, for what purpose?
Question, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Ingram. It says certain situations. So is this the only situation, or are there other situations that this may occur?
So, Senator Norwood, when we have a caretaker we have that in a different code that says when you're eligible to assist someone that may need assistance with their mail-in ballot, so an absentee mail-in ballot. If that person then takes that ballot from that individual and willfully causes that ballot not to be cast, so in other words, they don't either drop it in the mail or drop it off, if they do that with the intention of that vote not being cast, then they would be subject to this crime and this penalty.
Now, what about, say, nursing homes? Would that apply as well?
So only in certain circumstances, because we did pass a law last year that addressed ballot harvesting. So typically these are now going to be individuals with individual ballots. So it's not going to be large ballots collections any longer.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Ingram.
Thank you, Senator Norwood.
Thank you, Senator. Okay. Now we're on the building, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe we did drop the strike all.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Now my final motion then is for adoption by use of the morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to procedure? Of course, voting no. Present? Seeing none. Thank you, Senator Ingram. Bill passes by use of the morning roll call. Senator Wiggins? Pass and retain. Senator Younger? Senate, we're going on 113.
I'd like to call up item 113, have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 953, harvest permits, extend repeal on provisions establishing maximum weight and approved routes of vehicles.
Make the usual motion.
Senator makes the usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
I'd like to explain the strike all that we just added in committee. What we did was we took out we did what the Senate did. We deleted the repealer in it, and that's all it is to it.
Questions on the bill? Questions on the bill? Seeing none, Senator?
I'd like to make use of the morning roll call, final passage.
I got you got a strike all first, sir.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Motion?
I'm sorry. Motion to amend the strike all.
To adopt it.
To adopt the strike all, excuse me.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now, Senator.
Final passage of the bill by the morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to procedure? Court is voting no. Present? Seeing none, the bill passes by use of morning roll call. Thank you, Senator Younger. Senator Blunt? Pass and retain. Boyd? Senator Boyd? Pass and retain. Blackwell? Blackwell? Pass and retain. Pope? Pass and retain. Delano? Carter? Pass and retain. Wiggins? Pope? Barnett? Barnett? 136, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, we go to item 136 on today's calendar. Have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1474, Department of Health required to conduct a review of quality of medical care provided to inmates of Department of Corrections.
Make the usual motion.
Usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Mr. President, I'd like to be allowed to explain the strike-off.
You're recognized to explain the strike-off, Senator.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate. What we did in this particular piece of legislation is that we took the Senate language and inserted it into the House bill, and basically the Senate language was just to allow the Department of Health to inspect the infirmary at Parchman. So that's what the strike-all is, Mr. President. I'm open for any questions. If there's no question, I ask that we move by the morning roll call.
It's a strike-off, Senator.
I'm sorry. We'll adopt the strike-off.
All right. Any questions? Seeing none, motion is to adopt the strike-all. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask for passage by the use of the morning roll call.
Use of the morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Or is voting no? Present. Bill passes by use of the morning roll call. Michelle, pass and retain. Fillingham, pass and retain. Tate, pass and retain. Boyd, pass and retain. Younger, pass and retain. Simmons, D, pass and retains. DeBar, pass. England, pass. Sparks, pass. DeBar, Michelle, Wiggins, Bryan, Delano, Blackwell, Sparks, Boyd, Bryan, Fillingham, Wiggins, Parker, Fillingham, Bryan, all pass and retain. Thank you, Senate. We'll go to announcements. Announcements, Senate. Senator Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. President. Announcement.
Please proceed.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I'd like to remind you all of tomorrow at 5:30. I will be serving the best barbecue that you can possibly eat in the world. 5:30 at the farmer's market. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator England.
Mr. President, I have an introduction out of order, and I also have an announcement and an adjourned in memory. So,
Okay, let's start with introduction out of order,
yes,
Senator.
my introduction out of order. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother-in-law is here, Timothy Brewer. He's in the South Gallery over here. Ask him to stand, and let's make him feel welcome.
Welcome, Senator. I'm sorry, you have two others.
Yeah, Mr. President. Yeah, for my announcement, for those of us that are wise enough to be lawyers in this room, we do have a meeting at the Bar Association tomorrow for lunch, and we'll have a picture that'll be taken beforehand. So I believe you should have received a flyer on that, but wanted to remind everybody of that yesterday. And Mr. President, my adjourn in memory today, with it being the Mississippi Songwriters Alliance Day here at the Capitol, I'd like to ask that we adjourn in memory of Mr. Scott Stratner. He passed away just, I guess, about a month ago, and he was a champion in that community. So I ask that we adjourn in memory of Mr. Scott Stratner.
Thank you, Senator. Senator McCon.
Announced, Mr. President.
Please proceed, sir.
Just a reminder to everybody in here that the Forestry Association's having their come and go luncheon at the old Capitol Inn. As like last year, it is a stand-up, come in, visit with some of the industry members there. Starts at 11:30. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator McCon. Senator Tate.
Announcement.
Please proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, just wanted to announce that the Mississippi Tourism Association and the Mississippi Gaming and Hospitality Association will host their legislative reception tonight at the South from 5 to 7.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Blackman.
Thank you, Mr. President, and adjourn in memory.
Please proceed.
I'm not sure if we did it yesterday, but I want the Senate to adjourn in memory of Robert Clark.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Norwood.
A couple of adjourn in memory, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
The Senate during today like to adjourn in memory of Dr. Larry Cooper of Jackson and Congressman Sylvester Turner, former mayor of Houston and current congressman from Houston, Texas.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Parker.
Announcement,
Please
Mr. President. Just want to let the Senate know that yesterday, late in the evening, we had a driver in DeSoto County going the wrong way on the interstate, and sheriff's deputy was able to get on the interstate and sacrificed his vehicle in front of the car to prevent that car from hitting other people. And he is in the hospital today. He's in stable condition, but please keep that officer's family in your thoughts and prayers for the sacrifice he made.
In the line of duty, Senator Berry.
Introduction, please.
Please proceed.
Joining us in the North and West Gallery are students, fifth grade students from Brookhaven Academy. On behalf of Senator Barrett and myself, please help me make them welcome.
Senator Blunt, pass. Senator Blackwell.
Announcement.
Please proceed.
Junior page pictures will be taken tomorrow with the Lieutenant Governor and the following senators: Barnett, Carter, England, Hill, McConn, Michelle, Polk, and Thomas. That'll be at 9:45 in the chamber.
Whaley, Senator Whaley.
Adjourning memory.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of myself and Senator Chisholm, I would ask that the Senate would adjourn in memory of a Mr. Terry Dykes, a volunteer fireman in Union County who passed away as a result of an injury he sustained while fighting a fire this weekend in Union County.
Thank you. Volunteer firefighters just are awesome. Senator Chisholm.
Thank you, Mr. President. Adjourn in memory.
Please proceed.
On behalf of Senator Whaley and myself, we also lost another firefighter last week in Union County, Mr. Steve Coker. He was chief of the fire department in New Albany for several years. He battled cancer for like 7 years, so please remember him as we adjourn today.
Thank you, Senator. Other announcements? Other announcements? Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we stand in recess until 5 p.m. today, at which time the Journal will reflect we're adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Ayes have it. Stand in recess.